way. I'm glad you're here, because somebody can push back. I like pushback, okay? This girl got a stack of ones in her hand. In order to combat that, I'm gonna go and exploit these lower tier women and use them recreationally. This is me owning my own bias. My bias is my bias. I'm in a...
Ruslan.
I watched some of the vlogs from the fresh guys, and I'm looking at the quality of women that they're with, the way they're dressed, the way they're speaking. There's a clip of Fresh pulling up, and there's a homeless guy. Like, it's a different tier of women that they're around, which is why they have such a, derogatory view of women. Like, they have a view of women that's based on selection bias, that they're skanks and hoes and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, well, look at the type of woman you're picking to be around. Look at the type of woman you're picking to spend your time with, right? It's kind of, women. Look.
Just trying to get a chicken bite box, D.
Yo, man doing a dance for him.
2 years old, trying to make a
You got cash here, Sneako?
Huh?
You got cash, bro?
I just came back from Romania, bro.
You said free Sneako?
I got some
Nah, cash. If you got cash, that was pretty hard.
You know, help me out, man.
For a chicken box.
All right.
No.
This is the wrong currency, man. This is pounds. He can't do shit with that.
He can. He can buy McDonald's, bro.
So Sneako's trying to give him pounds. Apparently they're back in Miami. And look at this.
Bro, this is
Give it to him, bro.
Bro, it's pounds.
Give it to me.
It's 50 pounds.
Doesn't matter, bro.
That's $70.
Look at that. Hold on.
McDonald's, bro.
chicken box.
I know McDonald's pounds.
Look at this.
Bro, this is
Give it to him, bro.
Bro, it's pounds.
Give it to me.
It's 50 pounds.
Doesn't matter, bro.
That's $70.
This girl got a stack of ones in her hand.
Psych.
Oh, wait.
Damn.
Damn.
Sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
$50 won't hurt.
Guys, come on. Let's go.
$3
We gotta go. We gotta go. Let's go. We don't have it. We don't have it. Sorry, sir.
selling me a water bottle or something.
I was trying to help you, bro.
Sorry, sir.
I was trying.
Sorry.
They put this man, Fresh Prince CEO, put this in a vlog. How are you the prize? How are you the prize as a man and you're around women like that? How does that work? Someone help me understand. These are not high-value women, even by their standard. Their standard, a high-value woman is 23, who's a virgin and is fit, feminine, and flexible. Okay? That's not that. That ain't what we just witnessed on the type of chicks these dudes hang out with. Right? So how does this work? Like, there's so much cognitive dissonance in some of this worldview. And I guess because they tell men that you're the prize and yada, yada, yada. Apparently this is appealing to young men. I don't quite understand it. And by the way, I'm trying to actively set up a thing with Fresh and Fit, and they keep curving me. They don't want to have a conversation with me, unfortunately. Which is like, I think there probably are some things that we'd agree on. I think fourth wave feminism and the attack it's had on the nuclear family and all these different things. I think we'd agree on a lot of that stuff. It's just the prescription and the way you're living out your life is the counter way one would live out his life if he actually cared about society and culture and building healthy families and stable nations, right? Because all that is anchored on healthy unions of men and women, and even in the hypocrisy of saying you're a high value man, therefore you need a high value woman, therefore this is a high value woman. She's 23, she's a virgin, or a low body count, yada yada yada, and yet you're around women that don't seem or act to the point where you're trying to give a homeless guy some money. I'm not saying I give money to every homeless guy. See, I'm just saying you felt compelled in that moment to give this guy some money because he wanted some McDonald's. She has a stack of money and doesn't give him any money. And Fresh was with Act when this happened, right? He said he didn't have cash on him. Sneako didn't want to give him whatever euros or wherever he got back from, and she had a stack of money, wouldn't get it. So these are the quality of women. And so, if you are into this sort of stuff, I understand men are hurting right now. I understand men want voices right now, leaders right now to speak for them. I understand, but I promise you, hear me loud and clear. I promise you there's a better way. I promise you as someone that's by their textbook definition, a high value man, as well as born again, saved, as well as married almost 15 years, as well as healthy family, stable family, amazing kids, amazing life. I promise you there's a better way. That way is Jesus. I know that may sound sad and whatever, but I promise you there's a better way. Place your faith in Jesus. Press into him. Discover the way he would have you live. Take the God pill. Reject the red pill. Because the God pill is the real red pill. Jonathan said, FNF's whole message is women like that, the lower tier women, they are to be used recreationally and not be taken seriously. Fresh and fit are being consistent. Their end goal is to wife isn't to wife these chicks. Okay, so Jonathan, let's think through this logically, right? Let's think through your statement logically. FNF's whole message is that these women, these kind of slutty women, are to be used recreationally. Okay, so she's for the streets, therefore she can be used recreationally, okay, and not to be taken seriously. So let's think about the opportunity cost of allowing those types of women to be around you. Think about the opportunity cost of what Ak is going through. He's allowed this sort of low-tier woman, that's what you called her, lower-tier woman. I didn't call her that. That's what you called her. He allowed this lower-tier type of woman to be around him, to be used recreationally, and now he's completely embarrassed and humiliated. Per Ak's words. Ak's own words are he's completely... So this logic ignores the opportunity cost of allowing yourself to have these sorts of women in your life and in your circle and with you publicly. That's point one. Hear me loud and clear. Point one. I'm glad you're here because somebody can push back. I like pushback. Okay. Use recreationally. Step two, and not be taken seriously. Okay. FNF are being consistent. Their end goal isn't to wife these chicks. Respect. They're being consistent. But here's what you're missing. Here's what you're missing, Jonathan. If I say that I believe health, fitness, and being lean and being shredded is the way to stability in your personal life and in your finances. Let's just say that was, and I think it's important, but I don't say it's the way. I think Jesus is the way. But let's just say that was my prediction. Hey, this is what it is. You got to have a strong body, strong mind, yada, yada, yada. Okay, respect. Okay. But it's inconsistent in that me now going and opening a McDonald's chain, me opening a donut shop. I'm anchoring my life in whatever way that suits me to benefit and make the problem worse. 70% of Americans are overweight. I'm going to expose that 70% of Americans are overweight. A modern woman is jacked up in the head. She's been indoctrinated in fourth wave feminism, blah, 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 blah. Okay, respect, okay? So this is, I'll say, yeah, there's some issues going on with the way sex positivity is working, all this kind of stuff. All that's true, okay? And so in order to combat that, I'm going to go and exploit these lower tier women and use them recreationally. I know that 70% of Americans are overweight. Okay? I know that people are dying because of this. So then I'm going to go and open a McDonald's franchise, and I'm going to open a donut shop and perpetuate and make the problem worse. That's the logic there. It would be different if you see how those two things can't both be true. You can't own a fitness facility and want to get people in shape while at the same time selling people fast food and the poison that's actually keeping them from getting in shape. Those things can't be true. You have to have a degree of cognitive. If you're going to anchor your brand on, we need to bring back power to men and men positivity and all this kind of stuff. Men being in healthy marriages is what's going to make men healthy and positive. Right? And that is the hypocrisy. So it's not consistent. It's not consistent to say you care about the nuclear family, yet use these lower tier women to destroy future nuclear families. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they know this because they know the realities that I know. They know the truths that I know. That the more partners a woman has, the less likely she is to pair bond in a marriage. The more partners a woman has, and a man, the higher they are to get divorced, the lower they are to be sexually satisfied. So you are running these lower tier women in the ground by increasing their body counts, increasing your own body counts, all along saying that you're using them recreationally. You're actually creating the very problem that you claim fourth wave feminism created. You're saying, I want people to get healthy. I'm going to open a gym. I'm just going to have pizza and donuts all the time. Shout out to Planet Fitness. Think that through with me. Jonathan, really think that through with me. Can we all agree that serving donuts and pizza at the gym every day is counterintuitive to the people who need to be at the gym and take care of themselves. And anybody that's into food like me knows that it's very difficult if pizza and donuts are in front of you every day to consistently say no to it every day. So you're exploiting the very same people and making the problem worse. This isn't complicated. This isn't revolutionary. That's what I mean that they're inconsistent. So one, I don't think it's consistent. I think you're missing the opportunity cost of allowing people like that around you. It's huge opportunity cost. And Ak has not factored in. Now he's getting publicly humiliated and dragged, right? And the other side of you are making the problem worse. You are making the problem worse by, if fourth wave feminism is the problem and sex positivity is the problem, which I believe it is a problem. I don't know if it's the problem. I think sinful people are the problem. The fact that our hearts are so wicked that we can contort and twist our logic to make sense of this nonsense, that's the problem, right? Like, not just fourth wave feminism. Fourth wave feminism is an overflow of the heart, right? It's a distortion of the heart. It's a perversion of the heart. So you're 100% correct. This is why Kevin Samuels disagreed with FNF. Kevin Samuels' message was to pay for discretion, still not wife them. Don't mess with the ratchet ones. They will embarrass you. I think my issue with Samuels was that he was encouraging or making it or normalizing men to pay for vagina. That's wild, right? Like, if you're becoming a stable individual, and that's why I say Jesus is the way, because it could be very difficult for people to do this. If you're becoming a stable, solid individual who has the ability to delay gratification, which, by the way, remove Jesus from the equation, the ability to delay gratification is the number one variable needed to become successful at anything. That is what it is. To get fit, to make money, to change your life, you have to have the ability to delay gratification. Do you want $1,000 next week, or do you want $200 now? You have to be able to think long term, okay? So if you're looking at the ability to delay gratification and you're a solid, stable individual, you should not be paying for vagina. You should not be paying for vagina. You should not be paying to have your fleshly needs met because you feel like you're entitled to it, or you can afford it, or whatever, whether it's discretion or not discretion. That to me is a low value man. That to me is a man with little self-control. That to me is a man that doesn't have the ability to project and forecast into the future and say, hey, I know that what I really want is a stable home. And what I really want is this type of woman that's willing to take care of our family, right? That's what I really want. So if that's what you really want, your values have to be congruent. You can't be out here paying for vagina and then think you're just going to shut it off the moment that you get married. You can't be out here paying for, and this is why the Kevin Samuels logic. High value men should cheat. That's what he said, not I said. That's not what I said. He said that out of his own mouth. You can look it up. Ruslan, Kevin Samuels should cheat, right? And so you're chasing dopamine. You're chasing the same pleasure receptors. You're making the situation worse, and you're doing it in the name of, I'm actually here to help men. You're not here to help men. You're not here to help men. You're the freaking donut and pizza at the Planet Fitness that removed the squat rack, and the weights to actually train right. Right? Like, I just saw this video from Alex Hermosi talking about why the business model of Planet Fitness is so smart. They removed the things that people use the most at the gym: the squat rack, the bench press, the heavy weights, and everything is machines. And then they put donuts and pizza in front of everybody, and most folks that go don't use the most expensive things, right? And they've just removed all those things.
Said it, and they were like, okay, 92% of people don't actually want to use anything in the gym. They want to sign up for a gym and not come. Okay, the people who use the gym the most, who we lose money on a per usage basis, are people who actually use the gym. What do people who use the gym use? They use heavy weights, they use squat rack, they use chalk. And so they're like, well, if we eliminate these three things, that knocks out 80% of the people who are actually going to use the gym. And so then we can have a facility, sign up as many people as possibly can, knowing they're never going to come. And then we'll incentivize them with pizza. It's $10 a month to come here. If you just come and get pizza once a month, you already covered your $10. The average Planet Fitness has 10,000 members. So for them to make their model work, it's 10,000 active.
I don't have a Planet Fitness account. you know, paying $10 a month, I go to LA Fitness where they have actual squat racks and they have actual heavy weights and they have actual bench presses and they have the actual things you need to actually see results. I'm not saying you can't get that on a machine. I'm saying it's substantially better to learn compound lifts with free weights. I'm not saying you can't go to Fresh and Fit and get some value from them. I'm saying you can't go to Planet Fitness and get some value from it. You can, but there's substantially more obstacles and hurdles to overcome, and it's a way less efficient experience than saying, let me go and learn the compound lifts, the proper nutrition, the ability to delay gratification, and actually get my life in order in these areas. Great business model. Those brothers got a great business model. I'm not knocking the business model. But the business model is doing more harm than good, in my opinion. The direct path is you need to learn how to control yourself. The direct path is you need to get away from toxic women. The direct path is you need to work on your character. The direct path is, you need to work on your self-control. That, to me, is what the red pill is. The red pill is the Planet Fitness of relationships. It's a fabricated, cheap version of what it actually requires. In my opinion, and I would say history testifies this, what it actually requires is giving your life to Jesus, because it becomes a holistic, transformative process that actually gives you it's even better than just going to a better gym. It actually gives you the desire to go to the gym and work on yourself and improve your situation. The dream would be a wife, kids, and in a Christian family. But where can you find that dream life nowadays? Can't find the women anymore. Hey, so this is Jonathan. This is what I would say. And this is me owning my own bias. My bias is my bias. I'm in a church and in a region of the country. I'm in Southern California. And something about here is different. Where you at, Jonathan? Let me know where you at. Where I'm at, there's not a lot of cultural Christianity. There's very few folks that are like, yeah, like I kind of go to church, I kind of don't go to church. So folks that are like about Jesus gang, really about Jesus, okay? There's that. So that's just, you got to understand, I'm the coastal elites, okay? So I'm a part of the country that's that. I'm also in a part of the country where there's a degree of, we go to the beach and you should look decent with your shirt off. And there's not a lot of fat people at my church. I'm just being honest with you, okay? So I'm in a part of the country where Christians don't get to fake the funk. There's not a lot of folks that go to the club on Saturday and show up to the church on Sunday like there would be in Atlanta or down south. So that's one. Two, I'm in a place where how you look matters to a degree. How you look matters to a degree, okay? Three, I'm in a local church that's stable and all of these values are top down, meaning my pastor is married. My pastor has been married for a long time. My pastor has a bunch of daughters. My pastor is fit. My pastor loves Jesus. My pastor, right? So I'm also in a great community. And in that community, and not just in that community, but from within all the local churches around us, I'm not exaggerating. I've probably seen at least a dozen folks married in the last 2 years. All, I'd say, under 27. All under 27. These are attractive guys, masculine guys, fit, capable guys. These are women who love Jesus. Some of them lead worship. Some of them stay home and raise babies. Some of them stay home, raise babies, and have a side hustle. These are men that are capable. They're married. They're pressing into community. So this might be my selection bias, to be fair. That, yeah, what they're seeing is, and maybe what you're seeing is, what can I find a Christian woman that wants to stay home and have kids and blah, 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 blah. Okay, respect. Maybe you're just in a weird part of the country. Maybe you're in a country where there's a bunch of chameleons around, chicks that go and thought out on Friday and Saturday and they claim to be Christian on Saturday, or as Rollo would say, hit their epiphany phase. Maybe that's the time you're on. I get it. That's not the world I live in. I live in a world where if you say you're a follower of Jesus, you're about it. It's not cultural. I live in a world where people care about how they look and they take care of themselves. I live in a world where we understand complementarian roles. My reality is just different. And so I think because of that, I see so many couples around me, young couples where the man is capable, making good money, where the woman is given the opportunity to stay home if she wants to. If she doesn't want to, she can work, but they're not relying on their work. Creative people. So many people. I'm going to do stuff like Singles Night, right? I'm going to bring these folks on and interview folks because sometimes you guys need to see it. Sometimes you guys need to see some other couples that love Jesus and are young and healthy and have families and make good money and look good and feel. Sometimes y'all need to say, and that's not me preaching a prosperity gospel saying if you have Jesus, all these things will fall in line for you. I'm just saying maybe that's what you guys need to see. Maybe what I'm experiencing is unique to my little social bubble in Southern California. But by the way, it's been like this for 15 years. I haven't seen a drop off in folks getting married. It's been like this. right? Like it's gotten to the point where like I don't. There's so many folks getting married. I don't even want to go to weddings. Like I'm like, oh, please don't invite me to a wedding. I don't want to go to this wedding, right? Because I just been to so many. Like I'm not exaggerating. I've probably been to like 20 weddings, and I kind of went to another dozen that I just, we feel bad. Like, oh man, I don't know the wedding. I'm so over going to weddings, right? And so we're going to do the singles night stuff. All that stuff is like I understand, Jonathan. I hear you, bro. I understand it's a problem. I understand it's hard. I understand men have it hard, right? The application for me, for you is going to be the same. Hey, get fit, get capable, take care of yourself, love Jesus, get into a local church, become the type of man that could take care of the type of woman you want to be married to, okay? And then the other side of that is, well, you might need to expand your network a little bit. You might need to get access to some different people. And I think the internet, and that's why we're doing singles night, the internet it makes the world smaller. Some people get fit and it goes to their head big time. Some people do, for sure. But I would say, like, I'd rather someone slip going uphill than live their life coasting and completely take L's. I'd rather you become fit and risk potentially getting arrogant than to not ever get fit and walk around with low confidence because you've never done anything worth having confidence for. Confidence is a byproduct of doing things. Self-esteem is about being congruent with your values. I am not very confident that I know how to drive a 14-wheel truck across the country because I've never done it before. I'm not confident, but that doesn't change my self-esteem and how I feel about me. Why? Because I'm consistent in my character and the degrees that the values I hold, I'm congruent with those. So they're two different things. Your self-esteem is about, are you congruent with the things you say you are? Your confidence is about accomplishing things. A lot of you guys aren't confident because you haven't accomplished anything. And this is where the fitness side is just a great, just an easy thing that we all can do. You don't got a gym? Great. Start doing push-ups. Do 100 push-ups a day. Start there. Do 10, then do 10 sets of 10. There you go. Okay? So I know this stuff is challenging, but it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be easy. Nothing worth having in life is easy.
And it said that Simeon blessed God.